Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the new iPhone 16s. We have the iPhone 16 in the teal color, which I think looks absolutely beautiful. It's probably the best one out of all the options. And we also have the iPhone 16 Pro in natural titanium. And I want to share with you guys my initial impressions, do some testing and comparisons between the two, and with also the iPhone 15 Pro. The new iPhone 16 Pro is now a little bit taller and wider, and they were also able to reduce the bezel size. So the screen is now 6.3 inches from 6.1 inches. And the iPhone 16 Pro is now 12 grams heavier than the 15 Pro, which is crazy, especially when you consider all the talk about weight reduction last year, and it's almost completely erased this year. The regular iPhone 16 though has the same physical dimensions as the previous model, and it weighs a gram lighter. I went with the smaller phones this year because unlike last year, the only thing you're getting is a bigger screen and battery size for the Pro Maxes, and I really don't care for it as much. Long story short, I just prefer how this size feels, and the fact that they increased the overall dimensions over the previous version means it's also got a bigger battery. Apple says the 16 Pro has 4 hours more playback time than the 15 Pro, and the regular iPhone 16 has 2 hours more over the previous version, so that's already a huge win for me. If you find yourself in the same boat and you want the regular sized iPhone but you want more battery life, you can always get Qi2 accessories like these ones from ESR, and this MagSafe battery pack is definitely one to get. It has a 5000 milliamp capacity while staying super compact and slim. It's definitely slimmer than most battery packs I've used before, and it's actually pretty light, so it's not cumbersome when using it on the go. And on top of that, it doesn't get uncomfortably hot when in use, so you can put it in your pocket if you want. ESR claims it's 19 degrees cooler than the standard, and although I didn't measure the temps, I can't say I've noticed that heat up. One big quality of life feature here is the integrated kickstand. It's really nice because it allows you to use your phone and set it down to watch content or even game while charging. And since the magnets are strong, you can orient your phone in portrait or landscape. They also updated their 3-in-1 charger, so it now has faster MagSafe charging. And what's cool here is that it has ESR's Cryo Boost technology, so your phone stays cool while charging. And no, the fans are not loud. It's pretty quiet and you won't hear it over ambient noise. I love that it has a dedicated charger for your AirPods, and it can also fast charge your Apple Watch. So if you have a Series 9 or newer, you can charge it to 75% in 70 minutes. And you can enjoy the same fast charging experience in your car using ESR's Car MagSafe charger. It has the same Qi2 charging with Cryo Boost technology, and I've been using the previous version in my car for a while now. The magnets are strong, so I can easily recommend this updated version. I'll have all of these amazing products linked in the description below. I encourage you to check them out, and special thanks to ESR for sponsoring this portion of the video. So let's talk about what else is new and what you're actually getting with the new iPhones right now, especially since Apple Intelligence isn't out yet, so I don't even want to talk about it. The iPhone 16 has a new A18 chip, while the iPhone 16 Pro has the A18 Pro chip, and it has one extra GPU core, which doesn't seem like it should make much of a difference, but we'll see how this play out in everyday use. One of the biggest changes this year is camera control, which should have a bit more use case with Apple Intelligence, but again, since that's not available, it's mostly just a camera control, which honestly, I'm kind of 50-50 right now. Sure, using camera control is quite fun and pretty cool to use right now. You can use it to make adjustments to your exposure and aperture, which is pretty intuitive. And I love that you get a bit more precision when zooming in and out, which is probably the best use case for this. But is it actually a faster way to use photo and video tools like Apple says, or does it kind of overcomplicate things and maybe even take away from the convenience of shooting with a phone? It is too early to say, and I might just need some sort of retraining, and I wonder if it's something that I'll eventually get used to. Right now though, it's quite tricky to use as a lefty, particularly when shooting portrait. There's just no comfortable way to grip the phone and swipe your finger at the same time. I kind of have to use my right hand, which is unnatural to me, even being a bit ambidextrous. The button placement seems a bit too low for portrait shooting, and it's a bit too far on the left when shooting landscape. So I guess they settled on somewhere in between. I'll definitely give this more time and share more of my thoughts in the day in the life video, and then the full review later on, so stay tuned for that. Another use case for camera control is switching between photographic styles. These filters are something that you can apply or remove anytime, so they are not baked into your photos, which is great. I recently got the Fujifilm X106, and that camera is so popular because of its recipes. It minimizes or completely removes the need to edit after, and if you can achieve something similar with this, then that would be really compelling, but I'll have to test this out more. When it comes to the camera system, both models have an updated 48 megapixel main camera, which should be faster and more responsive. Apple says it should have zero shutter lag. There's a new 48 megapixel wide angle lens for the 16 Pro, which you can then use to take 48 megapixel macro photos, while the regular iPhone 16 ultra wide camera is still only 12 megapixels. And so I wanted to do an initial camera comparison between the iPhone 15 Pro, the regular 16, and the 16 Pro. Basically, I wanted to see if anything would stand out to me, but I want to emphasize that these are just my initial testing. I can't say I saw a difference using the ultra wide angle even at 400%, and I thought that was interesting. I thought there would be more of an apparent difference here, but I'll definitely look into this more. At 1x, everything looks similar even at 400%, which was kind of expected. Then I tried comparing the 3x optical lens of the iPhone 15 Pro and manually zoomed in with the iPhone 16s, and man, I really love that 3x. Just take a look at the difference here at 400%. I think it's miles ahead of the other two, and even at 5x, it still performed really well, while the iPhone 16 had no chance at all. And this result is pretty much similar to my comparison from last year, and this is why I wanted the 3x to stay. I actually prefer it over the 5x. I think it's just a really good lens, but if you want to learn more, go ahead and watch my comparison from last year, and you'll see more examples there. When it comes to videos, you can now shoot 4K 120 on the iPhone 16 Pro, which should be really fun to use, and I'm actually kind of excited to play with this a little more.
That's so crazy, bro.
But take note that shooting 4K 120 or ProRes log will take up a lot of space, so make sure you factor that in when you're deciding which iPhone configuration to get. The new 16 Pros also get a new 4 Studio quality mic, so you should be able to get better audio quality, which you can then take advantage of using the new editing tool called Audio Mix. You'll be able to pick from 4 options: standard, which is kind of the default spatial audio; in frame, which is where the audio is focused on the person that's in the frame; studio, it should mimic how a video sounds in a more professional recording environment; and cinematic, which makes it a bit more immersive. And you can also get this on the regular iPhone 16 despite not having the same mic setup. So right now we are testing the front-facing camera of the iPhone 16. We're using the mics. It doesn't have the 4 studio quality mics of the iPhone 16 Pro, but with the audio mix, does it kind of even out the playing field a little bit? Let's find out. So we are testing the new mic quality of the iPhone 16 Pro. There are 4 studio quality mics, so we get to test out how much better it is. And also the audio mix should be pretty interesting. We're gonna be testing that out right now. So right now we are testing the front-facing camera of the iPhone 16. We're using the mics. It doesn't have the 4 studio quality mics of the iPhone 16 Pro, but with the audio mix, does it kind of even out the playing field a little bit? Let's find out. So we are testing the new mic quality of the iPhone 16 Pro. There are 4 studio quality mics, so we get to test out how much better it is. And also the audio mix should be pretty interesting. We're gonna be testing that out right now. What do you guys think? Was there a difference in the audio quality? Let me know in the comments below. Here are a few things that I think are worth noting. Wi-Fi 7 is on both the iPhone 16 and 16 Pro, which is really nice to see. The iPhone 16 still only have USB 2, while the iPhone 16 Pro has USB 3, which allows you to transfer up to 10 gigabits per second. The iPhone 16 now has the action button. It's always cool to see Pro features come to the regular iPhones, and I'm sure a lot of people will love this. But unfortunately, the screen is still just 60 Hz on the iPhone 16, which is a bummer because other phones in a similar category have 120 hertz, so it's way overdue at this point. And I don't know about you guys, but I think it makes more sense to put 120 hertz display on this regular iPhone than have camera control in it. I feel like camera control could have easily been a pro feature and no one would be complaining, but this not having 120 hertz on the regular iPhone in 2024, I don't know. I need more time with these phones to give my proper recommendations, but if I were to give an initial one, here it is. If you have an iPhone 15 or 15 Pro, unless you have a specific reason why you're upgrading, I would suggest at the very least waiting until later this year before you upgrade. Because the iPhone 16s don't really offer anything substantial from the phone you have. And even then, some features of Apple Intelligence won't really be here until next year. And at that point, maybe the iPhone 17 will be out. And if you have an iPhone 14 Pro, I would just get a new battery and honestly wait until the 17s. However, if you have an iPhone 14, 13 Pro or older, I think there's a substantial amount of upgrades here, even if you're only upgrading to the regular iPhone 16. Anyway, these are just my initial thoughts. I'll continue to test these phones out in the upcoming weeks, along with the AirPods Pro and the Apple Watch 10. In the meantime, let me know if you guys have any specific questions and I'll do my best to answer them. If you guys made it this far in the video, type teal in the comments below. I'll be doing a lot of Apple content in the upcoming weeks, including comparisons to the Pixel 9 Pro and the S24 Ultra, so now's a good time to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.